I am spending this next week at my parents' home. Isn't that the NaNoWriMo goal? I did not know if I was going to hit 50,000 words tonight, but I really wanted to, and I did. Hello everyone, welcome back. Welcome if you're new here. My name is Sarah Jane and I make content about DC, reading and writing. So if that type of content interests you, be sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe because it really does help support my channel. You can probably notice that I'm in a different setting today. I am spending this next week at my parents' home for Thanksgiving and yeah, so I had to find like a different place to set up for writing. So I'm in like my parents' workout room. So there's like a treadmill and elliptical, a bench behind me. But I decided to set up here because my husband and I both had to find different places for us to work because we're still teleworking this week. And then like I didn't want to write the same place that I work. So anywho, I am in the workout room and it is what it is. It is currently my lunch break and I just wanted to do maybe like a 20-minute sprint during my lunch break because I've been trying to incorporate more of writing throughout the day instead of just in the evening because I found that's been super helpful for me. Oh, I should probably tell you guys what I'm currently working on. So I'm currently working on Project Crown. This is my adult mythological fiction novel about the Amazons. I started working on this about a year ago. I'm currently on draft 2 and making developmental edits and like really fleshing out some characters too. I'm currently about 43,000 words into draft 2. And we have essentially hit the midpoint of the novel. So we're past part 1. I have 4 parts in this novel. We're done with part 1. We're at the tail end of part 2, which would put me right at the middle of the novel. Part 2 has been really fun to write for a couple different reasons. Part 2 reveals a lot more about the backstory of some of my characters. So part 1 has been all about world building, all about the introduction of characters, the way their society runs, and the inciting incident. Part 2 just really gets you into the mind of one of the characters and their motive, which is really important later on in the novel of why they make some of the decisions that they do. And it was a really interesting story to write. When I first wrote this during draft 1, it was actually one of my favorite parts of the novel to write because I felt like I could be really creative with this part of the book. And I just love the way I really intertwined part 2 into the rest of the novel. I don't want to say too much, but I do want to say that part. And I think I'm just going to go ahead and finish part 2 on this quick writing sprint because I have like 2-ish pages left of it. And I think I can get that done in the next little bit. Okay, I've written for about 30 minutes and I've hit 1,038 words, but I'm not done with part 2. There was definitely more left of part 2 than I realized, so I will go back to that a little bit later today. But with that being said, I am really happy with my progress during this short 30 minutes. Like I said, just really enjoy this part of the book. So we'll come back a little bit later today. I do need to finish working and then I might have to run to the store to start prepping for Thanksgiving stuff, and then I still actually want to get a run in, so I have a lot of things left today that I want to do. Hello everyone, it is much later in the evening. It is now 8 o'clock at night, and I've done 2 other writing sprints already today off camera but I want to do my final session now tonight here with you guys. And I have found this to be a very effective way of working on my novel lately, is by just sprinkling in little writing sprints here and there throughout the day, whereas I used to just write for an hour at night, and I found that I just get so many words down on the paper if I just do a couple additional writing sprints like here or there. As I'm coming to the end of part 2 of this book, I am noticing that I am adding scenes that I knew during my developmental edit process needed to be added, but I'm not really cutting anything, so I am like mildly concerned about what my final word count is going to be by the end of all this. Since I am trying to get traditionally published, I am cognizant that I can only have a certain amount of words on the final manuscript. I'm not sure if I'm going to write a full hour or how long I'm going to write, but I'm just going to do until what feels good. Hello everyone. So I am stopping writing for the night, and I've written about 30 minutes, so it's 8:30, and I'm at a really good place to stop because I just finished part 2, which is what my goal really was for this evening or this day, just in general, is I really wanted to be done with part 2 because that puts me at halfway done with my book, which is really, really exciting because I have a 4-part book. So 2 parts are done, 2 parts are left to go. So I'm just taking a minute to be really happy about that because that was a lot of work. And then I realized that I am halfway there. I'm halfway through this book, but that took me 3 weeks because I really started November 8th. So, actually that took me 2.5 weeks. My original goal, if you guys watched my timeline video, was to be done with draft 2 by the end of November. I knew at the time when I set that goal that was a very aspirational goal, but I had put that timeline on myself because, long story short, one of my beta readers is heading out and won't be really around in the middle of December. And so I was trying to get this done so I could get it to her. I think I might have to change sort of this plan a little bit. So I'm not going to give her the whole book. I'm giving her parts of the book. And I think I can be done with the parts that I want to give her before she leaves. So I still think it's doable, but I don't think it's realistic for me to try to finish this book by the end of November. I just don't think that's going to happen, especially with the holidays. And I want to spend time with my family too. So anyways, but regardless, I am still really happy with the progress I've made. I've written a lot of words. So just today I've been annotating how many times I write a day nowadays. So I wrote 4 different times today. 2 longer sessions and then 2 short sprints. The longer session was in the beginning of the day, and that's kind of how I've been doing it. I've been doing a longer session in the morning, 2 sprints throughout the afternoon, and then a longer session in the evening, and that's been working really well for me. I wrote 4,093 words today, which brings my total word count to 47,617. So in the 2.5 weeks that I've been writing, I've written 47,000 words, which is amazing. I think I'm definitely going to hit 50,000 by the end of the month, which means that I actually did complete NaNoWriMo, because isn't that the NaNoWriMo goal? What is the NaNoWriMo goal? Yeah, because NaNoWriMo is you're trying to hit 50,000 words towards a novel in November. So it's really funny because I haven't really talked about this, but I am not really actively partaking in NaNoWriMo. I know that there's a lot of controversy behind all of it, and it's not even for that reason that I'm not participating. I just wasn't really participating because I don't know. I just had my own goals in mind that I was trying to accomplish. But yeah, if I hit 50,000, that means I did technically complete NaNoWriMo, and that's going to be kind of funny because I wasn't even trying to. All that's to say, I am very happy with my progress. And I'm going to keep trucking away. But that's it for today's session. I will see you guys tomorrow. Hello friends, and happy Tuesday. I thought about sitting outside today because it is like a little bit nicer, but I stepped outside and it was still kind of chilly, so I was like, guess I'll just like stay at the desk. Anyways, happy writing day. It is currently my lunch break and I wanted to get some words in, maybe like a 20 or 30 minute sprint. Ever since I had that realization last night that I could hit 50,000 words in the month of November, that's like all I've been able to think about. And so I think I might be able to do it today. We will see. I don't want to like put too much pressure on myself, but I can just like taste the victory. So we are going to go ahead and get started this afternoon. Last night I did finish part 2, which was exciting. And now I'm officially starting part 3. There's a lot that happens in part 3 in the midpoint to lead us into part 4. And so a couple of the developmental edits that I had probably need to be fit into part 3. And so I do think part 3 as a whole is going to take me a lot longer than part 2. Like I was able to fly through part 2 really quickly. But it's almost like puzzle pieces. I need puzzle pieces to fit properly into part 3 so we can get into part 4. So this section, while I was, so happy and like I loved my creativity in part 2, part 3 is kind of like getting in the trenches again. So let's get into it. I just finished a 30-minute sprint and I wrote 747 words, putting me at 48,364. So we are almost there, but I am going to stop for now anyways, because I want to like eat and then I need to go back to work. But really happy with the progress I made. And I found that now at this point in the novel, it is not as hard to change tenses. So the first half of the novel I wrote in third person present tense, and I didn't quite love that, and I switched to third person past tense on the second half of the novel. And I ultimately decided when I finished my first draft that I liked third person past tense better, so I had to convert the first half of the book. But now that the second half of the book is already written this way, it's even easier for me to kind of go through everything, which is kind of nice because like when you're changing tenses literally every single second, like a sentence gets to be a lot. So I'm really happy with the progress we made, and I'm going to stop for now and check back in later. Hi friends, it's much later. I finished work, then I went to the grocery store with my parents, did a quick workout, and now I wanted to do a quick 20-minute sprint before I had to go make dinner because it is much later. It's like 6:30. I am in a different spot because I've been writing in my parents' workout room, which my mom is currently working out in. So I didn't want to like be there while she was trying to, pump iron. So I'm just sitting on the bed that I sleep in while I'm here. So I don't even know if I'm really going to be able to use my keyboard, but I'm determined to get a little sprint done. So we shall see. Hello everyone. It's a little bit later. I ended up writing for 40 minutes instead of 20 minutes, but that's because I hit 50,000 words, which is so exciting. I did not know if I was going to hit 50,000 words tonight, but I really wanted to, and I did, and I'm just really happy with that. I'm at a very good stopping point in the book, so I'm also just going to finish writing for the night in general, because I'm at a turning point for one of the characters, and I don't even want to get into it tonight. And I think I'm actually going to end the vlog here. So In total today, I had 3 different writing sessions throughout the day, and it equaled to 2,383 words, which ultimately brought my word count up to 50,000. So really, really happy with that. I don't think I'm going to really write much over Thanksgiving because I have more family coming in. So I just kind of want to, just relax and spend time with them if I have an opportunity to write. But if not, I'm just really proud to hit 50,000. I was not planning on doing 50,000, which is what you need for NaNoWriMo, right? Is to hit 50,000 words. I did that. I hit 50,000 and I wasn't planning on it. And so I technically did NaNoWriMo without really setting that goal for myself. Really, my goal for myself was just to write as much as I could. I started draft 2 in the month of November, and it was just okay, I just need to get as much of draft 2 done, whatever that goal is. And so I didn't have a word count goal. It was just to push myself. And I have just been so blessed that I've been able to have the creative energy and the time to put towards this. And I hit 50,000. So I think I'm going to hit more than that by the end of November. So I'll definitely check back in another vlog. But technically, I did NaNoWriMo without meaning to. So anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please be sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe because it really does help support my channel. And I will see you guys in another one. Bye.